Yes, Bitcoin went all the way up to the levels of 21,470, exactly to this resistance area where we saw this massive FTX crash. But guys, as you know, I told you from the beginning of the year and even in these regions that we have reached the ultimate bottom for Bitcoin and that buying at these lows would be the best opportunity in your lifetime to invest into Bitcoin. And guys, let's find out how much percentage we have made from the beginning of the year all the way to the levels of 21,470. And we have seen a 30% push for Bitcoin all the way to these levels. But guys, what could we expect next? Are we going to see a pump from these regions even higher? Or could we expect that we're going to see a retracement and a correction consolidating in exactly this area? I'm going to show you in this video what is going to be most important in the immediate short term for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So guys, if you like this content, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly activate the bell so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. And now let's directly go over on the weekly chart. So guys, on the weekly chart, yes, we have figured out that we went up 30%. But guys, now comes the big question, are we going to consolidate in these regions or even see a further pump towards the upside? Or could we expect that we're going to see a retracement? We're going to find out exactly that. And for that, we're going to look at the CME futures chart. And as you can see on the CME futures, yes, we have formed the gap exactly here where we were trading over the weekend and Bitcoin went all the way up to these levels. And now we have these gaps. And these gaps normally get filled within 1 or 2 weeks, so we could expect maybe a consolidation and then a dump towards the downside to fill this liquidity gap, or we're going to see that Bitcoin will come all the way to these levels and fill this gap immediately. Because guys, it's very clear nothing can go up in a straight line, so I expect that we're going to fill this gap rather sooner than later. So guys, let's find out at which levels we could see the CME gap. So guys, all the way from the levels of 19,500 all the way up to the levels of 20,700. So in this area we could expect a retracement for Bitcoin in the immediate short term. But let's go over on the daily chart to find out where exactly would be these areas. So first of all, I'm going to remove all of these drawings, and then yes guys, we can see on the daily chart we perfectly hit our price target of the 21,400 US dollars, where we also saw this major resistance and also the dump from FTX. And this yellow box is exactly our CME gap, and we could expect that Bitcoin will come all the way to these levels and fill this gap before we're going to see the next consolidation and the next move up. But guys, we really have to be careful because yes, we could see a fake out and then a breakout, and then we are going to consolidate in these areas, and then we will see that we will close the CME gap after we have retested this high of Bitcoin round about the levels of 21,400 US dollars. So guys, we're going to go on the lower time frames to find out what we can see for Bitcoin and Ethereum, that we're going to see this correction rather sooner than later. So on the 4-hour chart, yes, we can see that we are kind of forming this Bart Simpson formation, and if the price movement consolidates sideways after this massive pump, we could expect a correction towards the downside. But first of all, let's draw the Fibonacci retracement levels all the way from the bottom where we saw this breakout all the way to the upside. And then we can see, yes, the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level is exactly in our yellow box. So we could expect that we're going to see this retracement towards the 38.2, because normally the price movement comes either towards the 38.2, or even we could see that Bitcoin will correct all the way back down towards the 61.8, where we saw that we had some consolidation before and some resistance and support exactly in these areas. Because guys, we went up too high too fast. So we should see that the price movement will consolidate either over time or over the price. And that means if we're going to see a consolidation over time, that means that the price movement will consolidate in these regions for a long period of time. But if we're going to see a consolidation over the price, this means that we're going to see a quick retracement towards these levels and that the price movement will carry on even higher. But guys, at this point, I think that we're going to see a retracement all the way to the levels of the 38.2, round about the levels of 19,700 US dollars for Bitcoin. But guys, in the immediate short term, we're going to go on the 15-minute chart to find the next trade for Bitcoin. So on the 15-minute chart, guys, but wait, before we're going to start with the trade, I want to remind you, if you want to trade all of these moves, make sure to be in my free Telegram group. Links are in the video description, and make sure to sign up with my BitGet link, where you receive a major deposit bonus of up to 5,000 US dollars. So guys, make use of this free money. And by the way, smash up the like button and subscribe. Guys, on the 15-minute chart, yes, we can see that at the moment it looks kinda bearish, because we have formed this high of 21,400 US dollars. After we have seen this massive pump up, we saw this consolidation, and then the price movement broke out from this downward sloping trend, and we reached round about the levels of 21,400 US dollars. And then we saw that Bitcoin saw this lower high for Bitcoin, and now we saw this major dump, and now the sideways consolidation. So what could we expect? At the moment it looks quite bearish for Bitcoin, and we could expect that we're going to see this dump all the way to our price target round about the levels of 20,000 and 19,570. So guys, how could we trade this scenario? And guys, make sure if you want to trade these moves to sign up with my BitGet link. Links are in the video description. So guys, first of all, a lot of people would enter exactly here in their short position, but guys, then you would have to set your stop loss exactly in these regions over the last high that we have formed for Bitcoin. But guys, in my experience, before we're going to see this dump, I could imagine that we're going to wipe out all these short entries and that we're going to get a stop hunt exactly towards these regions. So what are we going to do? Yes, we're going to enter our short position exactly in these levels, because we don't want to get wiped out from this stop hunt that we're most probably going to see towards this downward sloping trend, and then we're going to continue with the dump towards the downside. So now I'm going to show you this trade setup for the short position if we're going to see this correction. And yes guys, I think that we're going to see this dump towards the downside, because yes, we have moved too far, too high, too quick. And that's why I think that Bitcoin has to cool off a little bit before we're going to see the next move up. And don't get me wrong, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and yes, buying in these areas would also still be a good opportunity. And guys, please don't say I've missed the bus and yes, it is over 21,000 again, I will buy when it comes back down. No guys, dollar cost average, fixed times, fixed amounts, and then you get an average entry price. Because guys, maybe you're not going to buy here and you're going to wait for the next pullback. What if that pullback doesn't come, and then you're going to miss out even more? And then we're at the levels of 30,000 US dollars, and then you said, oh, I wish I would have bought at 21,000. No guys, stick to your dollar cost average plan. And yes guys, it looks very tempting to enter the short position exactly here. But guys, through my experience, I've noticed that yes, we will see this push up towards this trend line to liquidate all the short positions that have entered exactly here. So we're going to put our entry price exactly in these levels, where we would also put our stop loss if we would enter the markets exactly now. And we're going to take the trade all the way to the levels of 20,000 US dollars, because this is the area where I expect that we're going to see the first bounce if we're going to reach these levels and if we're going to fill the CME gap. And guys, do me a favor, if you like this content, smash up the like button. So guys, the stop loss I would put over this wick that we had here, where we saw this sharp correction towards the downside. So this would be an area where we could see if we're going to break this trend line towards the upside, that we could retest and then carry on with our dump towards the downside. So guys, first of all, our entry point would be round about the levels of 20,950 for Bitcoin, and we will take the trade all the way down towards the level of 20,000 US dollars, and our stop loss would be at the levels of 21,183. But yes guys, we could be wrong and the price of Bitcoin will just turn around and keep on pumping towards the upside. But guys, after this massive pump, normally we are going to see a consolidation for Bitcoin, and that's why we're prepared to take the short position, and if we're wrong, we're just going to find the next trade. So guys, we're going to go over to Ethereum, but before we're going to do that, yes, I told you so, and that's why you should go over to cryptoclothing.com, because they'll be launching their website very soon, and that's why you have to follow cryptoclothing.com over on Instagram. And yes, we could also see that Ethereum had this massive push towards the upside, and we have reached a level of $1,600, which I also told you in my previous video is going to be ultimate price target if we're going to see this massive pump towards the upside. And yes, I told you so in these regions, buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, and let's find out how much percentage we have made on this massive pump towards the upside. From the beginning of the year, we saw a pump towards the upside of 33% for Ethereum, and yes, this is quite good for Ethereum. But as for Bitcoin, I also think that we're going to see a consolidation and a retracement all the way back down to these levels. And for Ethereum, we can see, yes, we have formed a high, but it's not a high compared to this dump from the FTX like we saw for Bitcoin. So guys, I could expect that Ethereum will retest the levels of 1,370, which would also be a perfect retest from this breakout from this downward sloping trend. So guys, we're going to go on the 15-minute chart to find out how we could trade Ethereum. Let me first just remove all these drawings, and then we go over to the 15-minute chart. And yes, on the 15-minute chart, guys, it is like for Bitcoin, we are seeing that it looks quite bearish for Ethereum. So guys, where would we open our trade for Ethereum? We're going to draw the same trend line as for Bitcoin. And yes, maybe we're going to see a push up to these levels where we also can see that we had some resistance, which turned into support, and then we saw this pump towards the upside. So this would be my entry point round about the levels of 1,555, and then I would place my stop loss again over this massive resistance area that we had here, where we saw that the price movement just dumped towards the downside. So let's find out where we would put our take profit round about the levels where we said $1,300 for Bitcoin. And yes, maybe we should be a little bit more conservative and take our profits round about the levels of 1,427, because here we can see a lot of support and resistance. So guys, this trade would be a good trade for Ethereum if we're going to see this retest. But guys, if we're going to see that the price movement will dump immediately, guys, I would just wait for the next opportunity, because at the moment, yes, we had some good opportunities trading towards the levels of $21,000 and we didn't take them. Why? Because nobody predicted that Bitcoin and Ethereum will go up so quickly, and that's why we're not going to waste our trading capital on this massive pump and massive dumps. I would rather wait if we're finding a nice pattern that we could predict to have the maximum risk to reward ratio, and also we have a good risk management. And that's why guys, if you want to trade all of these moves, make sure to be in my free Telegram group, links are in the video description, and sign up with my BitGet link to receive a massive deposit bonus of $5,000. And guys, before we're going to end this video, we're going to go over to the crypto bubbles. And on the crypto bubbles, yes, you could see the broader crypto market had a massive pump towards the upside, and that's why guys, after we have seen this massive correction for Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're going to dollar cost average in all of the altcoins, because yes, the altcoin season will come and we want to be prepared for the next pump towards the upside. So let's wait for the next consolidation and then we are going to enter the markets. And that's why it's very important that you have to be for crypto. Make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe and activate the bell so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. And we see each other in the next video.